Hello YouTube, Dave_23 here, and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. Today's episode, we've got AZ in the Europa League phase, away from home at the AZ Stadium, and then from there we will either have a game against Red Star or Real Madrid in the league. But since we last met, two really poor results. We can't win a game, or three really poor results. We don't know how to score, and we can always underperform our XG. As you can see here, we played Valladolid 2 days later. It was a very tired performance. Finished 0-0, had more of the ball, no real creativity, which makes no sense when you have Fekir, and you have Canals, and you have Borja. And I'm like, oh, okay, no problems at all. I then went and Leganés, at home, they're relegation fronted, 2 shots, 2-2, sorry. Dominated the game, 60% possession, 21 shots, only 6 on target. We conceded a 94th minute penalty to draw 2-2. Their XG's only higher because they had a ball forward to them in the 6-yard box and a fucking pen. They did nothing. Very livid. I passed at 75%. We then went away to Celta Vigo. We lost 1-0. Yet again, we had 14 shots, only 4 on target, no real goals. I don't know what to do. I'm in dire straits. I don't know anything else but playing 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Every time I move into 4-2-3-1 with West Ham, our players would get on the ball. It would be a high tempo. They would press. They would win. They would go and carve people up. When I move 4-2-3-1 here, we get worse, which makes no sense because it's a more of an aggressive system to free them up. In the 4-3-3, we actually play some decent football, but God forbid if we put a chance on target. We are in dire straits, and I'm telling you right now, I'm making the very bold prediction. I put an episode out for a few days ago saying, was it a mistake to move here? Yes. I will be sacked by February. I will be sacked by February because this team is not good enough to finish in a European spot in the league from what we've seen in our first 2 months here. The only thing that could save me is a run in the Europa League. Was the main reason we moved here. Last thing I am going to say here is, can we go to the XG table? I actually think you can get it from the data hub. I think XG table. XG table. Ariel Hippus, right, there we go, from where we are, XG table, apparently we're only +1, sides are +4, sides are +5, right, XG against 0.99, +0, and 0, which is fine, but it means we're conceding every single chance, we're not scoring enough chances, so for me, we're about where we need to be. We're actually probably not as bad as I thought we are, but yeah, we're not good at all. You know, underperformance. We're slightly on it, which is fine. You have a look at this table, we're kind of like 5th, which is great. And then defensively, expected goals against, 9. And we've conceded 10. So we're like right on the cusp of what we're doing. But unfortunately for us, that's all coming in the same games. Like if we don't score, they don't score. If we score, they score. Our stats flatter us because we won one game 4-0. You see the problem what I'm trying to get at? There's no consistency. There's no movement. And I really do think because our pitch is so narrow, we have no way to play. The 4-3-3 and the 4-2-3-1's dead. I actually think I'm going to start trialling at home a 4-1-2-1-2 to see if we get some creativity. Anyhow, this is the team against AZ. It is our full strength 11. I am going to go with it. Away from home, I think the 4-3-3 is a fine enough system. But at home, I'm going to play a aggressive 4-2-3-1 and see what happens out there because I cannot get anything out of Fekir. I can't get anything out of Arsene Zakaria. It's not a good time to be a Real Hippus fan because we have so much exciting talent, but nothing going on. They're lining up like so. That's Jens Odegaard, not actual Odegaard. We should be beating AZ, but they are a pretty good team. They've got Basil there as well. He's a very good footballer. It's panic stations. If you can't tell, I'm panicking. If you can't tell, I am panicking because I really, really, really screwed the pooch. Should have stayed at West Ham. Should have took 1 more year to try and win the FA Cup. Really should have waited for another big job to open up. And because of my lack of ability... I hate fucking stadiums like this. And because of my lack of ability to ever moving jobs in Football Manager, because I always do one club saves, right? I should have known that, after the Euros, that would be the time. Usually, from what I see and when I watch content, it's straight, a week, 2 weeks after the season, everyone gets a sack. Okay, go put your name in the ring. Never happened. Anyway, Arsene Zakaria cuts it. Borja through Matty Ryan, and we lead 1-0. Pretty sure it's Matty Ryan in goals. Down one end, they could have scored. Down our end, Borja Valera scores, which probably means we're going to concede at some point. Our only hope is go massive in the Europa League. That's my only hope. Anyway, Arsene, Borja, Matty Ryan. I'm pretty sure it's Matty Ryan. Nearly made a good save. It is Matty Ryan. There we are. We lead 1-0. But look at the stats here. We're getting dominated with no ball possession. And AZ, you would say, has been the better side. Anyway, Miranda, Arsene Zakaria, who's been really poor for us. Miranda again. William. Gabia. Arset. Sawabala. Fakir. Sabala just had to play Fakir down the line, but God forbid we play an easy pass. Matt Ryan. Whoa. Bazor. Great ball to DeWitt. And look at us get carved apart. Look at us get carved apart. DeWitt. Rui Silva makes a good save. Just realised I've started Miranda by accident. If that's the case, then I'm actually going to put him as a fullback there on support as well because we've got a 1-0 lead. Fakir. Dead ball. Don't really score too many from set pieces, which with Luis Felipe in the team is shocking. But yet again, look at this. Our own set piece and it's them on the break. Never should have took this job. Just wish I knew how much. Because we did somehow stayed out, somehow not a penalty as well. It's because I never got in the interview, they never said how much money was going to be there because their season wasn't over or it wasn't ticked over. Where the other ones were telling you what the money was because it calculated the season's done. I don't know why I did that with the Spanish job. But yeah, I'm lost for words for what we do this year. Send help. In the comment section, what do we do? What do we do? After 2 months, you should know how your team plays. I reckon there's more chance to finish bottom half from what I've seen because we can't score. We can't score. We can't dominate games of football. Which, we've got some really good tacticians out there. Zakaria should be dominating the league. Canales is a very good footballer. Carvalho is a very good footballer. Fakir should be dominating the league in every single match. He's fucking playing at a 6.4. Boys are getting a little bit legless, but that's because realistically, I haven't really been able to do too much. And I've got to keep playing the same team as well, which is no good. As a Vinicius, because he wants to play this complete wing-back, has to go to a support role. Arset's going to come in there for Edgar. Apparently not. Okay, we'll do this. Edgar's best role is probably ball-winning midfield and defend. Carvalho's going to sit in as a central midfielder on defend. Going to try and defend this leave. Arsen's going to come out before he gets injured for Rodri. Fakir's going to come out for Luis Enrique because he's been poor. Still lead 1-0. This team's far beyond chance conversion. This narrow system of AZ is causing us issues. De Jong out there to Hadzidakos. I don't know. Hadzidakos. The Greek fella. Good ball in, back stick, headed. That's over the bar. If AZ had any decent finishing ability, they would have won this game easy today. Apparently the stats have been even. Be nice to hold on, but God forbid we could hold on. Abda Vinicius, Rodri. Ramos. Canals. Funny thing is, if we concede from this highlight, I actually back us to concede one really late as well. Abda Vinicius. Ramos. Edgar. Canals. Borja. Needs runners. No good ball. And look at that on the break. William wins that. Thank you, Carvalho. Sabala ignores in. Oh my God. He could have played Enriquez any time. We get lucky. Borja to finish it. We lead 2-0. It's all luck. Sabala could have just played any ball down the fucking line and Enriquez would have been one-on-one and could have had a cutback on. But it took us to pass the ball into someone to fall to us to fucking score. Like, at any point, man, you're looking straight at him, just slip him in. We are one of the worst footballing sides I've ever managed on FM. We are, without a doubt, one of the worst footballing sides I've ever managed on Football Manager. Period. Merson, we score for a 2-0 lead. We win the game late doors. But we are horrid. We are dead set horrid. Dead set horrid. I'm glad we won, but on this showing, I think we need to be winning games by a bit more. I think we need to be doing a lot better from where we are. And with that being said, we're not dominant, we're not doing well enough in the league. I don't see how this team wins the Europa League or the Spanish Cup. Which, I went here going, they finished 6th. They should have some good money. They've got good players in Fakir and Borja and Iglesias, who, by the way, is probably going to leave on a free because I have no money to give him a contract. If I somehow don't get sacked at the end of the year, I'm resigning. But yeah, from what I've seen anyway, we can't get anything good out of any of our players. No good performances as well. Got to keep a roll high and not display my dissatisfaction with them. Chelsea, by the way, are in this conference league. So at some stage, I'm going to have to play Chelsea to win it. Yeah, hopefully we don't get them to the final. We hope we FM them. But yeah, look, that wasn't good enough. I know I said that I was going to play Real Madrid next game. Or Red Star. Considering how bad we are in the league. I might come back for Valencia and leave the Real Madrid game till later in the season. If needed, if we're still in charge, because I think we could be out of a job. I'll probably give you Real Madrid, guys. I'll be back in a second. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, YouTube. Real Madrid versus Real Hippos. And I tell you what, we've made a change tactically in the system. And since that moment, we have been fantastic. So what we're going to do is break down what the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow looks like. I did allude to it in our last episode. I've played a couple games on stream and ticked around with it. And then I said to my stream, guess what? Real Madrid, big YouTube game. You're going to have to watch it on YouTube. Here we are. We got Carlo Ancelotti and his men at the Bernabeu. Don't get me wrong, I do not expect to win this game at all. Real Madrid played 9 games, 24 goal difference with 23 points. They're pretty good. They are pretty good indeed. But let's go and show you the results since the 4-1-2-1-2 switch. So we started against Morocco and we started on balance. We then started on we went attacking, went positive, went high tempo, low tempo. In the end, the system that I am playing today was the system that dominated the most part of this game. First things first, we're looking to get our best out of our players. So when we look at the roles, it's because it suits the players that we have. To be fair, the midfield three roles here haven't changed to advanced playmaker, box-to-box, and a deeper line playmaker and defend. Could go ball-winning defender. And I've actually gone 2 complete wing-backs on either side to provide really good width as well, but the 2 centre-backs are the same as well with the keeper, which is fine. So we won 3-1 here against Morocco. I will show you goals. We beat Real San Sebastian 1-0 in a very tight game in the league. Now, in saying that though, at home, and this is the main reason I switched 4-1-2-1-2, when you are Real Hippos manager, their stadium is actually quite small and narrow. Which on Football Manager, it even tells you when you go do the ground dimensions, you can either make a stadium really wide, you can make it really narrow, and but if you make a really wide pitch, your wide players are going to have more room, and off you go. You can make a pitch really long, and it's for really quick players. Now, as much as I would love to do that, because I'd have historically had quick players, Borja Iglesias isn't exactly quick and getting older, and Fekir, who I'm playing up front, is not exactly quick and he's getting older. So I'm not doing that either. The actual standard dimensions of the Real Hippos or the Real Betis pitch is actually very short and very narrow. It's at the minimum length it has to be in Europe. So with that being said, a narrow 4-1-2-1-2 system congests the game. It forces the wingers of the opponents more inside. So if you can congest that middle and have really good technicians in there, which we do, in Cancelas, Arsene, Zakaria, Fekir, in the role he's playing, drops in very deep, and Iglesias, providing us that maybe that out ball, but pressing forwards do drop in a bit. It gives you that option. And then with me, the only width I'm having is the complete wing backs. Does leave us open for the occasional counter, but as you can see in this game, we did dominate, we did score a goal. Now, I'm not going to show you the goals for the Red Star game, but I went fairly full strength here. Zakaria getting his best game that he's played for us. Rodri obviously playing a game. Miranda, Saliba, Edgar playing again. We absolutely carved Red Star apart. We won 7-0. Love it. Very happy with that as well. And then Valencia, we just played in the league too, and I'm going to show you their goals in just a second. We won 2-1 in a very even game away to Valencia. Very good side. We're in the 4 at the time to beat him. Massive result and very, very well done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now the tactic, which looks like this. So I'll allow you to pause the video. I'm even going to bring up the actual what we're doing with the system. But, the roles are the big part of why it's, working at the moment. So that's where I'm positive with a very high tempo. Feel like we need that quickness to really break teams down. Still looking for the overlap because we are playing like that. And we have moved out from fairly wide to just a normal, width. Could go even narrower. I haven't played around with that. we're still doing everything else here the same, and instead of playing on a high pressing line, we've actually moved it to standard, but still looking to press up top because we've got 2 strikers and a shadow striker. Now, these 2 roles are the same. Complete wing back actually gets quite high and it looks quite good. These 3 roles are the same. These are where it gets a bit different. So Zakaria, for me, is our best player. He's also our biggest goal threat. Because Borja, as much as he's a goal threat and he does score goals, also is very good at winning the ball and being a pressing forward and, being in build-up. And the complete forward on support suits Fekir because it allows him to... On attack, we lose him because he stays up high and he stays out wide and does whatever. A complete forward on support, he roams for position. He can find any areas of space. When he played out wide on the right, especially when we played at home, because the pitch is so narrow, he becomes very congested with the midfielders and then he becomes very congested with the opposition's midfield and defence, and you lost Fekir. Now playing as a complete forward on support, he starts high, he drops in between the lines, he sees the space in the middle of the park, and he's the creator. He's the one that can get on the edge of the box as well, and he's one that might come on late into the area, as you can see from one of the goals that we do score. Iglesias keeps replacing forward on attack role. Just feel like because we're not as good as a footballing side, we need that extra bit of support to win the ball back, so pressing forward. I am a big advocate for an advanced forward. If I had a quicker striker, and I was a bit more of a better footballing side, I'd probably go advanced forward with complete forward, but that's fine. But then, obviously, if you've got a guy that's coming in from deep and dropping around, and you've got Iglesias and pressing forward on attack that's going to drop deep to try and win the ball, to press, you need someone being the main man, and that is Zakaria. So when you notice when we're on the break, it's usually Fekir's dropped in really deep to help out the midfield. Iglesias is the one that's hit his feet, and then it's Zakaria the one that's breaking the line to get in behind. And I think you want your best player doing that. So it's a really good spot to be in. I know there's been a bit more of a tactical dive, but so be it. Now I'm going to show you the goals here that we will see throughout as well. I will say our first goal that we do score in this system with Zakaria is actually a long-range hit. But I'm going to show you all the league goals that we have scored so far. And this one doesn't really highlight the system too much, but you do see a little bit of the width. Like Abner's really advanced. Like if Zakaria didn't want to get a shot away here, he could peel out. But yeah, look, ball into Zakaria's feet. We're already very high up the pitch anyway, so it's probably not a good goal to see in the system to explain the system, but great finish. But then out or going on a run, complete wing back on attack, and yet again we've won the ball from a ball being back long, where it's not one in build-up. But look at the numbers going forward. You've got Rodri, you've got Fekir, you've got Arsene, and you've got Borja, all in close proximity. And at the back stick, you will have the complete wing back. And again, grab ball in, Fekir's there, great finish. Arriving later into the area, he's more centralised, it's great. This is a very good goal to see, because Zakaria will still drop in. If it's not Zakaria, and Zakaria's the one moving into this space, Fekir's the one dropping in. One ball back to a midfielder facing forward, because we do get a box-to-box sitting in, Williams sitting in, Rodri could be sitting deeper, right? And then straight away you have a ball out here, you can thump a ball into this channel because of the complete wing-backs on attack, and we still got 1, 2 and 3 guys behind the ball if they want to hit us on the break. We'll say if somehow Zakaria tries to beat a man and loses the ball, you are vulnerable, but I think you're vulnerable in most systems anyway. Anyway, great ball, Zakaria's there, we get a little bit lucky, falls the Borja. That's the first game of the system. You don't really know the system too well, right? So that's the first game there. I don't think we need to really highlight how we're conceding. Then we look at the Real San Sebastian game, right? And Borja scores again. Artes is there. Very even game. Against a very good side. We do dominate it slightly. And this is the goal, right? It's a great ball, but we bring it up high. And it's straight through to Borja and it's a goal. Pressing forward does not mean he's going to sit there on the last man. And then lastly, it's Valencia. 2 goals here. Got to show you both because it's big. And Borja, set up by Fekir at late doors, is great. And this game here, Fekir played in the 10 to allow for some rotation. We are in the blue here. But yeah, look, numbers in short succession. Great ball out there to complete forward, which is William Jose. And you see that he in build-up, I know it's not Fekir there, right? But he in build-up, because he's a complete forward and support, he comes in really, really narrow. He doesn't sit out here. Complete forward on attack, probably tries to sit a bit more, move more channel. He comes in really deep and acts as that midfielder and then makes the run from deep, which suits Fekir. Obviously, I did rotate in this game because we had Real Madrid. And then lastly, our last goal here as well, from a throw-in. William Jose, William Cavallo, straight into Rodri. Fekir sets up Borja, finish, goal. Thank you very much for coming. At that stage, we had Fekir in the 10. And you had Borja bang as a pressing forward. And as you can see, William Jose wasn't in the picture, but what he did is he dropped in deep as the complete forward, took that centre-back slightly out of position, and there was Fekir filling out the space and then created the movement there with Borja Iglesias, which is great. Now, I've said all this. Guess what's about to happen? We're about to play Real Madrid and we're probably going to get slapped. But this is the best we've looked the whole time I've been in charge. It gives me some hope that this could be a system moving forward that provides some issues to bigger teams. So without further ado, it's Silva, Sabella, Gabia, Luis Fernandez, and Abner Vinicius, Carvalho, Canales, Astor, Zakaria, Iglesias, and Fekir. I'm very interested to see how this system works. I've saved it as the 4-1-2-1-2 idea here at Real Betis. Maybe a system we do use later down the track. I've just seen that they've signed Darwin Núñez. We're definitely going to have a look at how Real Madrid look. Then we're going to get straight into this game. So Thibaut Courtois, great player, but I'm more here to see who's the transfer history here as well. So last year, they signed Serge Gnabry for 92 million, Robin Lenormand, who's a very good player, and Salmakers for 19. And on the outs, only sold Vallejo, really of note, Lucas Vazquez. This year, they sold Rodrigo to Man City, big signing. Adrizola, the right back, to Chelsea. Nearly forgot how to say Chelsea then. And then on the ins, 48 million. Couple of interesting signs here. Darwin Núñez on loan. That's all that Liverpool let him go on loan. Can be recalled. I don't understand how Liverpool let him go on loan knowing that he's this world class. 8 goals and 9. What are Liverpool doing? Who's playing up front for Liverpool? I know they got Mohamed Tamiri. Are they just literally saying that he's better? And then they're going to take him back? Why are they loaning him out? Liverpool's still top, so Klopp must be loving it. I think it's allowed Cody Gakpo to play, which makes no sense. Answers on a postcard why they've loaned him out. Anyhow, Vinicius Jr., Gnabry, Camavinga, Valverde, Tchouaméni, Mendy, Alaba, Militao, Kufau. Interesting signing. Got to get a Kufau and Quartar. Does that mean they've signed Kufau this year? That's a weird Madrid side. Kufau for 5 mil. This guy from Dortmund who's a wonder kid who looks fantastic. Lucas is unbelievable as a defensive midfielder. Endrick's officially joined there as well. And Tyreek Lamptey, who's pretty good on FM, but I'm very surprised that he's there. Now, is Endrick playing? He's not played for him yet, but he's been playing a lot of non-competition football, which is fair enough. All right, let's get into it because we've spoken too much now. It's a very good side. Nacho's on the bench there. Rudiger's on the bench. Asensio's on the bench. Lamptey's on the bench. Salmakers, Kroos, Modric. They got quality coming out the wazoo. I'm not here to fight Real Madrid. I thought I'll just give you the game to see me get pumped. As Darwin Núñez hits the post inside the second minute. Why have Liverpool loaned him? It makes no sense. Serge Gnabry at the back stick. Highlight still going. Cleared by Luis Felipe, who I know has the Ramos name. And there we are. This is the first time we played a really big side in this system. And I think this is a very good precursor to maybe playing Chelsea, for instance, in the Europa League or one. Well, actually, guess what? No more group stage phase, so we can't worry about a Champions League side coming down. So Chelsea's probably odds-on favourite to win the competition. So this is a good test for us to play against Chelsea. As you can see, though, 25 minutes played, 0-0. We're happy with this. Tchouaméni and Ferland Mendy. And Valverde, great player. Kufau, of all people, which surprises me. Deflection, headed away. Canals had to thump it away, but never did. Ball in back stitch, clear back stick, cleared away. Vinny Jr. keeps it in with Ferland Mendy. Tchouaméni, tackled by Arsene, but falls back to him. They've got that just little bit of extra quality, you feel. Kufau, though, is still a weird signing to me. If we concede, that is... I can handle getting beat, and I can handle being beat by better sides. I hate it when it's a match engine. Answers on a postcard. In the great words of Wet Space. What have I just witnessed? Ball in. He's tried to chest it, for whatever reason, and chested it straight to Gnabry, who heads it to Darwin, who heads it in. Never would happen in real life, ever. Never, ever would happen in real life. Why would he try and take a touch in his own box? At a ball that's come neck high. He just headed away. Weird highlight to concede a 1-0 down. Astor in a good position, but lost out to Kufau. This isn't our fight. This isn't what I should be bringing you as a game here in the league. But feel like when you play Barcelona Real Madrid for the first time, you guys want to see it. So here we are. Great ball to Nab. He hits the bar. 30 minutes played. Real Madrid should have already been 2 or 3 goals up. it just sucks that the way they've scored has been a bit of match engine silliness. Saying that, though, game feels a bit glitchy, which is unlike FM. And unlike my computer, but yeah. Anyway, every ball falling to them. Kufau gets there before DOPDA Vinicius. Kufau, of all people, have got an assist. Vladimir Kufau is playing for Real Madrid, and it makes no sense. 2-0 down, all she wrote. And now we're just going to get through this game nice and quick. We've only had one shot. Not much you can do sometimes. Real Madrid are just too good. Fresh arms. Real Madrid is Real Madrid. But we get to play out from the bats. We get a highlight here. Sabali. William Carvalho. This is where we need a midfielder to drop in. Arsene is one of them. Borja. Canals. Go ball to Fekir, who holds up play. Borja Iglesias. Fekir. Ball through. DOPDA Vinicius should have scored, but that's the movement. Was it been offside? DOPDA didn't look offside, but okay. But that is the movement. That is exactly what we're after right there. There's some positive signs out here. Real Madrid have been Real Madrid, but there are some positive signs out here. I know that it's very hard to say that, but there are. Got to bring Juan Miranda on one side and Saliba out for out to Rubiol, who I think is my best right back in this system. I'm going to leave everything else there. Asta's looking a little bit legless. Probably bring Rodri in like for like, to be fair. Just because I don't want Asta to be too legless. We got other games to think about. But look, if I could, we scored at the new camp, did we not? I would love to score here at the Bernabeu. We definitely scored at the new camp because we gave him a game and then conceded a few late. Anyway, Altor, good ball. Arsene's offside, unfortunately. Would have been nice. We're coming back into the game. There is positives to take out of this. Fortunately, it's 2-0 still, and it's offside. But it's a great ball. They now score down the other end. Very, very, very livid. Jordi Alba. Jeez. Alaba. Free kick wide. Arsene's dead. I'm going to bring William Jose in. We're going to move Fekir back a line. And I think with this as well, I'm going to get Egder in for William Carvalho. And I'm just thinking of, this game's probably over. If we scored, I would say, okay, let's go keep the boys out there. But as it stands right now, I'm just not going to do anything. Going to encourage the boys to try and find a goal. But look, we only lose 2-0 and have more possession and have had chances and had a goal disallowed. I think we could take some positives that if that's what's happening to Real Madrid away from home, imagine what we could do at home to them. And there is some positives moving forward. I am going to tell them that look, I'm going to tell them I don't like what I said from the team, but I wanted to tell them they've been unlucky, to be fair. But yeah, look, I can live with that. 11 games played, 18 points. Because of our good run recently, that's a really good position to be in. We've got Atletico Pamplona next in the league. In terms of my next episode, because we're flying in the league, I think in the Champions in the Europa League, what I am going to do is give you Rangers, and I think I'm going to give you Villarreal, who are historically a European-based side in Spain. And I'm going to give you both of those games as a doubleheader next episode, and we're going to play a bit more into the future here. The 4-1-2-2 has given us some life and some ability. I'm very happy with the team in terms of how it's adapting to this 4-1-2-1-2 in its early doors. And I know we said we made a mistake, but at least there's some positivities here. There's some positives to take out of it. We've gone on a run. We've got a system that works. We've understood that we're in a unique environment with a smaller pitch, and we can adequately work that out, create a tactic that suits that, and we seem to be getting the best out of Fekir, Iglesias, and Zakaria in these roles. And if we can do that, those three are good enough to win most games in the league and probably challenge a lot of the Europa League sides. As it stands in the Europa League, we're absolutely flying. League phase, we're on top. We're even topping Chelsea as it stands at the minute. We should be finishing in the top 8 with the draw we have. Look, there is positives to be had here. hopefully they will continue when we see each other next time. Till then, thank you very much. Give it a like, do subscribe. Do you think this 4-1-2-1-2 is going to win us a Europa League? Maybe. We'll find out at some point later in the season. Till then, thank you and goodbye.